In this video I am going to explain about top 10 animals in world live after death, so let's go into the video, and for more video please subscribe my YouTube channel and share, like or comment my video. Number 1. Chopping these things' heads off may seem like a peaceful way to avoid being bitten, but the truth is that may not be the case. A snake's head, a vessel for its fangs and deadly poison sacs, still has the ability to bite you and deliver deadly venom even if it's no longer attached with the rest of its body. Snakes detect heat signature with its head, and if you are close enough to the head of the snake that has been cut off, it can still sting you and deliver deadly venoms that can kill you. These heat-sensitive pits are capable of detecting threats for hours even after its death, which means the snake can defend itself even in death, zombie style, and yes, this applies to if the body is no longer attached. Number 2. I'm pretty sure that you've seen videos online where an octopus, after being chopped up, continues to move. In fact, in certain Asian countries, eating fresh octopus is a deadly delicacy. It's not really the octopus that survive after being chopped up, but rather their 8 wily arms that continue to move about. And it's these 8 arms that usually get stuck in someone's throat, resulting into a very bad. The reason why octopus arms maintain mobility even after being chopped off is quite fascinating. It's because their central nervous system is quite unique. Most of an octopus's nerve cells, 2/3 of them in fact, can be found, not in the brain where you would expect them to be, but rather in its tentacles. And these arms can continue reacting to stimuli even after they are no longer connected to the main. These arms can continue reacting to stimuli even after they are no longer connected to the main brain. In fact, they remain responsive even after the octopus has been long dead and the arm severed. Researchers in St. George's University in London conducted an extensive experiments on this phenomenon. Number 3. It shouldn't come as a surprise that these tiny little bugs wouldn't make it to this list. Cockroaches are infamous for their tenacity, and are often cited as the most likely survivors of a nuclear war. Some even claim that they can live without their heads. Number 4. Are you familiar with the old wise tale about how earthworms reproduce? It is said that if you cut an earthworm in half, 2 earthworms will be reproduced. Might not be true, but if you compare that theory with the flatworm, then the results might be really disturbing. Flatworms are masters of regeneration. They can rebuild any part of their bodies after amputation. If one is cut in half, then the head portion grows a tail and the tail portion grows a head. Cut it into 20 places and 20 new worms are created as a perfect replica of the original. This has been exploited by university scientists who have created a colony of more than 20,000 worms, and guess what? They are all from one original whose body and organs do not appear to age. Number 5. It has been discovered that frogs continue to move around even when they are brain dead, or to put it more accurately, with its brain missing. This experiment was brought about when scientists discovered reports of various headless animals continuously to move about, and it's very impressive on its own, but let's face it, there is only so much what a creature can do without its head. But what happens when you remove the frog's brain but leaves its body intact? Well, thanks to the "let's chop out its brain and see what the hell happens" approach by neurologist David Ferriel in 19th century, we can tell you that a headed but brainless frog actually behaves very similarly to a frog with its brain matter perfectly intact, and if you turn the frog upside down, it will rise itself back up. Number 6. This might sound like a cop-out to you. No, bees die and they stay dead. However, there is a reason why they appear on this list, because even though a bee might be dead, it can still sting you. Not in the way you think, of course. Dead bees obviously go fly around and actively sting you. It asks that their stinging parts, and more importantly, their venom delivery system, will still work even if the bee is. When a bee stings, the sting detaches from its body, leaving it embedded into the skin of its victim. Attached to the stinger is a tiny organ that both contains the bee venom, and a tiny muscle that pumps the venom out. Due to the simple physiology of bees, these actions are not controlled by the bee's simple brain, but rather by involuntary impulses. So, if you think that you're safe picking up a dead bee, think again. Number 7. If you are gonna come up with a list of animals that stubbornly continues to live, you will be hard-pressed not to include the salamander. This animal has always been synonymous to long life and immortality. It's even been reviewed by people who believe in magic, believing that the amazing ability for it to regenerate its body part is considered paranormal. Salamanders have the uncanny ability to regenerate any part of its body that has been chopped off. More amazingly, these regrown parts actually function the same as, or in some cases even better than, the original parts. This is mainly because of special protein found in salamanders which facilitates the replication of cells. This protein can also be found in humans but in smaller quantities, and they help us heal from our wounds. So does this mean we can also be able to regenerate several limbs? Oh, we are not quite there yet, but scientists are continuously studying salamanders and how their unique abilities can benefit humans in the future. Number 8. Flies can survive freezing temperature and go into some kind of animation. This amazing ability to survive freezing temperatures is not why the humble fly makes it to this list. Female flies will live for several days after they have been decapitated, and they can do and engage in reflex actions such as flying and under duress, walking. That's right, chop off a female fly's head and not much changes really. Number 9. The hearts of fish, reptiles, birds, and mammals have like their own pacemaker cells. They tick over when the signals of their brain stem are not coming through for some reason, which ensures that their hearts still function for a while even when the brain does not. These animals can dive for a very long time. How long? Well, try 5,000 hours in the case of the loggerhead sea turtle. Yeah, you heard that right. That was a 5 and 3 zeros, and they survived that long by on what oxygen they can take from the water through their skin, throat, and so on, as well as their body has amazing potential for producing energy without oxygen. Their hearts has their own fuel sac, and they won't give up until their last fuel sac has been used up. Number 10. There is truth to the expression running around like a headless chicken after all. Yes, ask any farmer and they will tell you, chickens can still run around with their heads cut off, and there is a very simple reason for this, and it's not because chickens are zombies. No, the reason is, believe it or not, human error. A butcher's error, to be more specific. You see, a chicken's central nervous system is very different from us humans. Some basic bodily functions are controlled not by the brain itself, but by certain parts of the brain stem. So what does this all mean? Well, if a butcher chops a chicken's head too high, most of the time it's just the forebrain of the chicken that comes off with its head, leaving the brain stem and the cerebellum quite intact. In fact, if the butcher also misses the jugular, not only will the chicken continue to move, it sometimes can still breathe. Of course, it will eventually starve to death, but there is one special case that a chicken survived 18 whole months without its head. Please subscribe my YouTube channel for more videos. Thanks for watching video.